So hello, everybody. I'm Lisa from PosterMyWall, and welcome to Learn with PosterMyWall. Today, we have a really special guest that we're very excited about. We have Beatrice Gonzalez, who is also known on social media and YouTube as Mrs. Talk Techie. Bea is an educational technology consultant, and she's going to demonstrate classroom projects you can run on PosterMyWall. And then she's going to do a hands-on tutorial so you can get to experience PosterMyWall for yourself. Now, you may want to have a second device handy, maybe an iPad, computer, or phone, so you can design along with Bea, or you can do split screen. It's up to you. But first, we'd like to know if you're here and where you're from, and are you a teacher or an educator? And if you are, have you ever used PosterMyWall in your classroom? And if you have, how do you like to use it? So with school about to start up again, many of you are looking for new ways to add excitement to your lessons. If you are, Bea Gonzalez has you covered. Bea is going to share the types of fun educational projects you can run on PosterMyWall with your teacher account or with your regular account. And then she's going to lead you in a hands-on demo. You'll learn to set up your own classroom account and share assignments with your students via Google Classroom or other learning management system of your choice. Our hope is that you're going to leave today with ideas you can adapt and use to make your students' classroom experience more compelling and more engaging than ever before. Bea has been an educator in South Texas for 15 years. For the past 5 years, she's been an educational consultant across the Rio Grande Valley. Some of you may know her from social media, where, as Mrs. Talk Techie, she shares her tips with 12,000 YouTube subscribers. She also has a strong presence on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where we first found her. Audrey is going to paste links to Bea's social media into the comments. So if you want, you can check her out or follow her and receive her tips ongoing. So it's great to have all of you with us. And if you have any questions for Bea or for PosterMyWall, please do put them in the comments. And if we don't answer you today, we will get back to you in the next 24 hours. And as always, this video is going to stay on Facebook and also be on our YouTube channel in a couple of days. So you can share it on Facebook if you have other educator friends that you think might enjoy using PosterMyWall in their classrooms. Before I hand over the session to Bea, Audrey, who's with us today?
We have people still coming in, but we do have an Alfredo and Darlene Ruiz from Brownsville, Texas, teaching second grade.
Awesome, welcome. Second grade, that must be an awful lot of fun. Okay, Bea, you want to take over the screen?
All right, good morning. Thank you, Lisa. Let me share my screen here. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, and of course, PosterMyWall for this amazing opportunity. Those of you who are joining us, thank you also for showing some love and support. As Lisa mentioned, my name is Patrice Gonzalez. You can also find me as Mrs. Talk Techie on these different social media platforms. I've been teaching for 15 years, as well as an educational consultant in the areas of content pedagogy and tech integration. So basically everything. I love PosterMyWall, and hopefully today's session will give it the credit that it deserves, and that you guys can go home or quote unquote take with you a hands-on resource that you can use for the first week of school or later on as an activity to do with your kiddos. A little bit more about myself. I am a mother of 4 boys. I do have triplet 9-year-olds and a 6-year-old boy. So at one point, yes, I had 4 boys under the age of 3. And the one thing we would constantly hear, my husband and I, are, you must have your hands full. And we'd always respond with, yes, if you think my hands are full, you should see my heart. And I love that quote. And I feel like it's so important to always, give time to our children. But as an educator, we're always pressed for time. If there's one thing we always need, it's time. And so PosterMyWall has really facilitated me to be able to provide those instructional tailored resources for my kids for my kids at school without taking away from my kids at home. So that's why I love PosterMyWall. If you are an educator or you have a busy schedule, but you still want to provide those quality graphics or infographics or resources, then PosterMyWall can do that for you. A little bit of what we're doing today, because I am a teacher, so we do need an agenda. We will be going over what is PosterMyWall, what are some examples of how PosterMyWall can enhance teaching and learning, what is the free teacher account entail, and then of course, the application part. Let's make a hands-on activity on PosterMyWall. So, and we will have Audrey, she will be sharing those links. If there is a free resource that we will be providing, she'll be sharing that link in the chat for us as well. So thank you for that, Audrey, as well. So what is PosterMyWall? PosterMyWall is an online platform, and I want to reiterate the fact that it's web-based. And the reason why is because as educators, our kiddos have all kinds of different devices. We might have iPads, desktops, Chromebooks, and the best part about PosterMyWall is it works on any device because it is web-based. It is a platform where you can create digital graphics. They have last time I checked, you guys had over 750,000 templates, pre-made templates that you can go through there and find yours and just tailor it to be able to download what you need for your upcoming lesson. So I think the hardest part is going to be choosing what you want because there's so many available. So that's what PosterMyWall does. It's all about how can me as an educator be creative enough and innovative to take these resources and tailor them so that they meet my instructional needs. A little disclaimer, I use my hands a lot, and I talk really fast. So that's a great thing that this is going to stay on the Facebook page. So I'm going to try to restrain myself from using my hands so much. So the best part about PosterMyWall, because they have over 750,000 templates, is that anyone and everyone in the school system, all stakeholders, can utilize it to simplify content creation, all right, to meet their needs. So if I'm talking about all stakeholders, your nurses, your counselors, your librarians, your coaching staff, all of them can use it. Even your stakeholders from your local community, your local daycare center, a business nearby, it all lends itself, it's all inclusive for everyone. For teachers, it facilitates our instruction, and for students, it makes learning visible. And we'll see some examples of what I mean by that, because everyone can use PosterMyWall. Here's some examples. Now, as a nurse, one of the things we're trying to promote is, safety in schools when it comes to COVID. What I did here was very simple. I went in and I searched COVID-19 or flyer, and then I just started editing it, and I just added my Bitmojis there. The work was done for me, and then I downloaded it, and we were able to share it to our kids, print it out in posters and put it up in the halls of our school. So that's a really neat way that nurses can use it. Counselors, if you want to share a newsletter, or create one, they have so many different templates for newsletters. Now, here are some things that PosterMyWall has, some tools that I love. You can add collaborators. So if you're creating a weekly or even a monthly newsletter, and you want to add a counselor's corner, a librarian, the nursing staff, or clerical staff, attendance clerk, they can go in there and fill out their section. Just you give a deadline, and at the end of the week it's due, but everybody has done their part and it's ready to go, and you download it and you're ready to share it whatever way you'd like to share it, via a link or print it out, right? Because they are high resolution downloads. Now, here's another thing that I think our educators here are going to love. We use QR codes a lot, right? But most of the time you have to go to a specific website to create that QR code, download it, and then add it to wherever you want to publish it. Well, PosterMyWall has it embedded within its editing program within the interface. So this one right here, this QR code right here, is actually a link to this flyer. So instead of sending a newsletter that's 5, 6, 7 pages long, you can add links or QR codes such as these. So again, just another way I'm trying to give you guys examples of how you can use it in your school system for all stakeholders. The coaching staff, if they're sharing their schedule, look at how neat this one looks. And all, actually, the thing that took me the longest was finding our school logo, because other than that, it has a table, and all I did was punch in the dates and the schools they were playing, and it was ready to go. So it's awesome, awesome digital signage that you can use to promote your school. So those are just different ways that the different staff members in your school can use it. What about teachers? As an educator, how can PosterMyWall facilitate me as an educator? Well, anchor charts. Anchor charts are, in my district at least, they are non-negotiables. We need to have them up. And so I thought, I want quality anchor charts. Plus, I want anchor charts that are tailored to the way I teach. So these are some examples that I made in PosterMyWall for math, for figurative language, for ELA. They use a mnemonic device known as SMIFA, so it's directly correlated to how they teach. On my far right, I have evidence of a chemical reaction. My very good friend and colleague, Miss O'Neill, she coined this, she created this. When she teaches evidence of a chemical reaction, she uses crazy people love to chew on gum. And so I helped her by creating this resource, this poster, and oh my gosh, I need to show you what I did. Okay, so one of the things I loved is that it's high resolution. So when you download them, you can print them out poster size. Now, I went to my local print shop, and I hope you guys can see this. Check this out. I printed them on corrugated plastic, Coroplast. Now I'm going to have these, they're UV printed. I'm going to have these forever. I'm going to have them. Well, actually, I'm going to give these away to my friends, to my teacher friends. But the cool thing is, all of these you have here, you can print, you can send off to get printed, and you can have them up across your classroom so that the kids build that muscle memory, so that it anchors their learning. But this is an amazing tool. You cannot go, like, for example, I'm a history teacher, and I've tried going to my local teacher supply store and finding anchor charts that are tailored to my standards. And I can't find them because only I teach the way I teach that subject. So I created this one, which is Growth of a Representative Government. And now I have it printed out and ready to go, and I can put it up in my classroom, and the kids can use it. They can reference to it. So, and all I did was search for, like, on the search bar, I searched for a tree, and I got a ton of different templates, and I went in and I customized it. So those are just examples of how teachers can use it to facilitate their teaching. There's a ton more, but I don't want to take too long. If any of you follow me on YouTube, you know that I'm very thorough on my videos, so I'm trying to restrain myself here. But again, if you guys have more questions in regards to the printing, the high resolution graphics, you can always reach out to me or PosterMyWall as well. So what about students? Because the great thing is, we've been talking about how it facilitates teachers, but how can we directly enhance learning for kids? Well, PosterMyWall can make learning visible. If we teach something and the kids are given an assignment to create something on PosterMyWall, it'll be very evident whether or not they actually internalize that information, if there was actual comprehension versus, I know, a standardized test, an A, B, C, or D. If a child can create a graphic such as these, that lets me know that they actually understood the information. So a quick example, on the left-hand side, or my left-hand side, you have, it says secret messages. Kids read a story, a paragraph, a passage, I'm sorry. They read a passage that came out on a previous standardized test. And then they went through the whole, thing with their ELA teacher. And then they were asked to create a book cover. If you had to make this passage into a book, how would the book cover be? And that's an example of a creation, but I added my name so that for privacy purposes. You also have an all about me that kids could create first week of school, or since I teach history, if I taught them the causes of the American Revolution, I asked them to create a protest poster. Create a protest poster that shows me the causes of the American Revolution. Now think about this, teachers. A lot of the times we give kiddos construction paper or tag paper, crayons, markers, and the one thing they're going to say is, I'm not a good artist. Well, guess what? I'm not a good artist either, but I was able to create these because you don't need that artistic ability, because these templates are pre-made for you. So instead of taking 2-3 days on a project, you can be more efficient and your kids can really, really create something that you know they're going to be proud of. So those are examples of making learning visible for our students. Do we have any questions so far? I know I'm going really fast. So let me know if there's anything in the chat that I need to address. If we're good.
You're good so far. Everybody's loving your examples.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's very exciting. Thank you, Audrey, for that. So I want to show you, and this is going to be a free resource that you'll be receiving today. Audrey will put it in the chat. Thank you for that. I challenged myself and I said, what is something that our writing teachers use? And it's called that, and our writing is the area that we need the most support in. So they use something called the hamburger model, which allows you to create, to practice on creating or writing power paragraphs. So I said, let me create a resource that kids can use to practice their writing power paragraphs. So I thought hamburger model. Okay. So I went on PosterMyWall and I typed in hamburger, and I got so many different templates. This is the one I chose, and check out what I did to it. It took me, I think what took me longer is understanding the hamburger model. I'm a history teacher, again, disclaimer. So it took me maybe 15-20 minutes to get it all ready and done. So check this one out. This is what I created for the kiddos so that our writing teachers can use it and they can practice writing those paragraphs. And all I did was I removed the what would be the menu of creating a burger, and I duplicated that box, and that was it. And then on the right-hand side, this is my favorite part, they have that anchor chart to reference to as they're completing this assignment. So this is a free resource that you guys can take back with you, share it with your writing teachers, but see how easy it is. I hope that it sparks some kind of creativity, and maybe you're not a writing teacher, but it actually creates innovation, right? And you're like, okay, this is a way that I can use it in my classroom for my instructional needs. So those are just a lot of different examples. Again, Audrey will be putting that link in the chat, but I also want to show you, if you're still using learning management systems, which I know a lot of us are going to continue to use because it really did facilitate kids completing and turning in assignments. And what can you do next? You can take this to your Seesaw. You can take this to Google Classroom. Check it out. I put it on a Jamboard. So you can add this. Once you download it, you can put it as a background on a Jamboard, and now kids can complete it here within your learning management system and submit it to you. So those are just examples. If your kiddos, if you're going to have them complete it on their own and then upload it, it can easily be done as well. They don't necessarily have to work on it on PosterMyWall. All right, so we're almost there. The next part is when it comes to PosterMyWall and creating and your memberships, teachers, there is a teacher membership with a student account version of it. And I know that Lisa had mentioned that if you want to know more about the classroom part, that integration part, she is going to add a link in the chat that'll tell you how that works, how it works to have that classroom, the class projects as a teacher. But the membership is free. And the teacher account is free as well. And you can always scroll down to the bottom and notice here it is for teachers. So you create your account first, and then you scroll down to the bottom right here, and you can upgrade to the classroom account. So again, if there is more questions on what is the classroom account, we will be adding a link in the chat. All right, guys. So I think we're ready to go for our hands-on session. Are we all ready? Now, if you have your own device, feel free to follow along. You can do the hands-on session with us and tell me, slow down, you're going too fast. And if you don't, that's not a problem. We will be adding the final product in the chat as well, so you can have a copy of it. The purpose is for us to see how easy it is to customize these resources and use them directly, integrate them into our instruction. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If we're all good, if we can, I would say if we could get a thumbs up, but I can't see the chat, but hopefully we're all good and we can get started. All righty. So what I'm going to do is, if I were to start from scratch, I would go to the templates and I would click on templates, and then I'd search for something. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you this. There is, if you scroll to the left-hand side, there's a menu of categories. There is teaching aids also. I did want to share that. There are teaching aids, so pre-made templates that you can use as well. Worksheets, timetables, planners, lesson plans, certificates. There's all kinds of different teaching aids already available for you. But what we're going to do next is we're going to search. We want to do an all about me activity, so that you can put it in your learning management system and the kids can complete an all about me activity. So when I was searching for it, I typed in, I was searching through a lot of them, and I found that the one that was book review was the best one. So I typed in book review, and I have this one right here. Which is the first one on the top left. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit template. Now, at first, you're noticing that that template might not fit if you want to put it in a Google slide, if you want to put it on Seesaw, on a Jamboard. It's not the right dimensions. Well, that's not a problem. We're going to make this the right dimensions so that it still looks good on the student end. So now that we're here, we're going to click on the top right, and it says resize. We're going to click on that. And we're going to go to, and most of our, like if we're going to do a Google slide or a Jamboard, it's 16 by 9 right here. These are the digital display, this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. Resize. And now it's been resized. Notice it's all the 16 by 9 and it'll fit perfectly on a Jamboard. What I'm going to do next, and of course, I know I'm going fast, but remember, we have this available to us on the Facebook, on PosterMyWall's Facebook page. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to select all of these elements right here by just clicking and dragging my trackpad, my mouse across, and I've selected them all, and I'm going to drag them to the left right here. And once I drag those, now I'm going to start to customize this. I want to make it an all about me activity where kids fill out their name, some of their favorite things, a picture of themselves. So that's what we're creating here. I'm going to start by grabbing this one. There we go. Grabbing this one. And you can always resize by pulling the corners. I'm going to resize just like that. And I'm going to make this so that they type in their name first, last name. And once you click on that, you can drag the edges here. And then of course, kids, as soon as you start writing in cursive, they forget how to read. It's difficult for them. So I'm going to change the text and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Notice on the right-hand side, this is what I love. The interface here is so user-friendly that I just click on it. I go to the right-hand side and I can move this, toggle this over and make this smaller. And now they know that that's where they're going to be putting in their first and last name. I can actually also go to elements, add a shape. If I want to add a line, notice that first one is a line. So I'm going to add this line and you can make it, you can also edit the line. So it's a little thick. So I'm going to grab it from the middle right here and make it thinner. And you can change the color if you'd like as well. So, and I know I'm going really fast, but again, remember, we can always find this video. So we've got the first and last name right here. I'm going to actually take this and I want them to add a picture of themselves. So I'm going to drag so that I select, notice it's selecting all the other ones. So I have to be careful. There we go. And I'm going to drag it over here and I'm actually going to resize them all. So from the corner, I'm going to move it just like that and resize it. And here I want them to put a picture of themselves. So I'm going to put picture of me. Notice how easy, how fast and easy it is to work on here. And then after that, I'm going to change the font maybe. And here's another thing. Finding the perfect font might take us forever because they have so many fonts available. They have a ton of fonts. You can actually also add some dimension to that, which is my favorite. I love messing with the shadows. If you go down here to the right, you can add a strong shadow or not a lighter one. And there you go. Notice how fast I'm working here. Now they're going to grab this. Let's say I put it on a Jamboard. They're going to take this, put their first and last name, upload a picture, and do some other things. But the one thing we're doing is also practicing these skills in a way that they don't feel like, oh my gosh, if I do it wrong, I'm going to get a bad grade, right? So this is a good way to start practicing those skills with your kiddos. I'm going to take this one as well. I'm going to select it. I'm going to take this one right here, drag it. I'm going to take the text as well. And you can always delete that and add the text from the left-hand side. You have this, all these options over here as well. And I want them to put, one thing I love to do is learn about my kiddos, not in a really informal way where they start telling me without feeling like I'm forcing them to tell me information. So here, I'm going to ask them to put a picture of the coolest person, not someone they know necessarily, but just the person they think is the coolest person they want, right? Like, for example, if they want to put a celebrity, or maybe their coolest person they know is their mom, their dad, their sister, and uncle, right? And then it just kind of lends itself to knowing, to asking, well, why are they the coolest person? So coolest person. So here, and again, you can change the text. Here we go. So just like that, I know we can make it better, but for the sake of time, here, all we have to do here is birthday. And I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to change the font just for, like I said, for time purposes. Birthday, favorites, color. And all I'm doing is adding and moving it over, and the kids will be able to customize it, right? To fill it out. Favorite food. How are we doing in the chat? Are we all good? I know I'm going pretty fast, but hopefully we're good.
You're good, B. Keep on going. They're loving this.
Oh, awesome. That's exciting. Thank you. Thank you, Audrey, so much. So I put here favorite subject. That lets us know what they feel, comfortable in, their strengths, and maybe favorite animal. And these are just examples, right? You can customize it yourself, whatever you'd like to add. So we have that. What else can I add here? Now let's look at the elements over here that you have options. I'm going to go to elements and I'm going to add Clipart, and I'm going to look for, and here's the cool thing is you can get elements from Pixabay or Storyblocks. They're available to you. I'm going to type in torn paper because I want to stay with the same, theme. I'm going to grab this one, add Clipart, and it's loading, and it's going to show right now. Here we go. So now I have that one. There's my Clipart, and I'm going to add text. And I'm going to put here in black, I want favorite meme. Favorite meme. There we go. So kids will add what their favorite meme is, of course, appropriate. They'll add it right here. The last thing I want to add to this if you're a teacher, you gotta love Bitmojis, all right? So the last thing I wanna add is my Bitmoji, and I do have my Chrome extension up here on the top. And I'm gonna search for teacher, or let's use that apple right there. And all I have to do is right click, save image as, and then you save it on your desktop. You save it on your desktop or downloads or wherever you're saving it. And then I'm going to go back to elements, add clip art. I'm sorry, not add clip art. Elements, photo, I'm sorry, add from my photos. So you're going to go to the first one, add photos, add from my photos. And you would upload it right here. I already did it because I did a practice run. So then you'd find it, add it, and you'd add that photo. And then you just put it where you want it. Now check this out, guys. And you've got a pre-made, like how long did that take me? I think it took me longer because I was trying to explain everything, but super fast and super easy. Now, what can you do next? If you use Google Classroom, we can add this to a Jamboard. So what we would do next is we would download it. See on the top right-hand side, there's a download button. We would download it, download, and it's downloading to my, for me, to my downloads. It's creating my design. After you do that, you can go to, and it's taking a bit, I'm sorry. You can open up a tab, and I like to do this, jamboard.google.com. And it takes me to my Jamboards, right? The ones I've created. Now, keep in mind, it'll take you to your Jamboard where whatever your web browser is logged in under. So this is my personal account, now my teacher account. And so from here, right click, and you've got a new fresh Jamboard. You can title it, set background, right here under image. You're gonna browse, downloads, here it is. Open, and it's going to add it as a background, and it's ready to share on my LMS, on my learning management system. We're ready to go. Let me show you I want to show you a demo that I made completed, how it might look. All right, here we go. So I made this one really quick for myself. If I wanted to share it as an example to my kids so that they know what are the expectations. Sometimes the kids are like, I didn't know my name went there. You know what I mean? So if you give them one already pre-made, at least they know what needs to be completed and they don't turn it in incomplete. So I've got my first name, a picture of me. The coolest person I know is my dad by far, and my sisters would agree. And my personal information of me. And then this is my favorite meme. I even have it on my desktop. When someone's not listening in my class, are you not entertained from Gladiator? I always put that. Anyways, I think it's a really funny meme, but these are just examples. This is something that you will be receiving. You'll be receiving this one already pre-made for you, that once you click on the link, it'll give you an option to copy it. It'll give you that option. Now you do have to be logged in. You do have to have that account to be able to copy it. What is the difference between, can you create resources without logging in? Yes. But can you go back and edit them? You cannot, because they won't be saved under your account. So it's always best to create that account for you. Now, the last thing before I pass it back over to Lisa is if you do want to know more about the student version of it, the classroom, kids 13 and over can create their own account. That's allowed, but under 13, they cannot. So you'll use that class project, that classroom section of it as a teacher. So if you want more information on that, Audrey's going to add that link to the chat. But other than that, guys, just keep in mind how amazing this resource, what we have at our fingertips that we can create. I know that not just educators use it. I know that my sister owns a daycare center. She uses it to create her monthly calendars. You know how they have like today's crazy hair day and stuff like that, flyers where they're promoting information. So PosterMyWall is just amazing resource. I can talk about it forever, but for now, I will stay quiet and stop using my hands so much and take it back, pass it over back to Lisa. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. Let me stop sharing.
So thank you, Bea. That was terrific.
You're
Um,
welcome.
So anyway, Audrey posted in the chat, you should have a link to the hamburger activity that, again, you could, if you click on that, you'll have the option to copy it. And then you can customize it or just save it to your account and use it with your class. The same thing, there's another link for the All About Me activity. So thank you, Bea, for making
You're
those for
welcome.
everybody and for sharing.
You're welcome.
Would love to know in the chat, do you have any other ideas for classroom projects that this is, any new ideas that you'd like to share that hearing Bea talk about how she uses PosterMyWall has given you that you might share with the other teachers who are watching today? Audrey, were there any questions we need Bea to answer?
No questions so far. I did share the templates, so she might get some in a bit. They have all your platform information, so be on the lookout, Bea.
Yes, and Bea has promised to visit the chat later today. So if you have anything for her, she will get back to you. Bea, I have a question for you because I realize I don't know the answer to this. When you created your charts that you then took to the printer, at that point I know you did not have a premium account yet. When you did that, did you have to pay to download those high-res files?
I did. You do have to pay. I think it's $2.99. I think
Okay.
it's $2.99. But for $2.99, and having your customized, tailored resources, that's something that really is priceless because you literally cannot find them in your local teacher supply store.
Okay, so with the teacher account, which is free, you do have access to all the design tools. But you will have to pay for high-res output. All social media sizes are free, but if you need something bigger to print, then you will have to pay for those downloads. I also want to explain a little bit more about the student accounts that we didn't get to, but Audrey put a link in the chat to those, and what that does is it makes it so that you can set up a page for an assignment and share that link to that page. It's like a file inside of PosterMyWall. You share it with your students, and then your students can click on it and they can create a poster to answer your assignment. They can each do their own poster, and it's automatically put in that same folder. The students do not have to pay for their accounts. They also do not have access to the template, so they will be creating things just from scratch, which is a little more challenging for them, but it forces them to think and be creative. So there is a link to a seminar we did on that. And I know on our blog, we do have some examples of student projects that some students in Italy shared with us, and they're gorgeous. I'll put that link in the chat in a little while too. So I think that's all we have for today. Let me share my closing slide here. So anybody who's watched today who would like to, you think you're going to be doing a lot of downloads, it may be less expensive, or if you're sharing with other teachers, I mean, you could get one paid account, for your whole school, and then if you got a premium membership, you can do unlimited high resolution downloads. So that may be the most cost-effective solution. And if you get a 3-month or 1-year subscription today and you are a new premium user, you're either upgrading to premium or from premium to premium plus, or you're completely new to PosterMyWall. If you use the promo code classroom30, you will get 30% off on your subscription. So Bea, do you have anything else, or Audrey, any more questions?
No, I just thank you again to you and to PosterMyWall for this amazing opportunity.
Audrey?
Nope, we're good over here. People are looking over, and there was actually one person joined us. There were tech difficulties on her end, so she's just hoping this is going to be up later.
And yes, of course, we will keep it up, and please do share with anyone you think might be able to learn from Bea's creativity and apply it to their own teaching. So thank you again, Beatrice. You are amazing. I hope everybody follows you and shares you on social media. Your tutorial information is fabulous. We are so lucky that we had you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And from Susie, Audrey, and myself, I hope everybody has a great day.